It's going.
I'm Brad Williams.
Alan Reed. Mark Hayes. Alan Anderson.
All right. The Hoover Dam. John Wayne. Covered bridges. Baseball. Pigs. Snow. You're probably asking yourself right now, what do any of these things have to do with each other? I'm Tyler Stevens, and today I'm here to talk to you guys about the state of Iowa. A couple of things we're going to go over. I'm going to talk to you about some famous people, some famous sites from the state of Iowa, the climate, some economy, and the jobs that are famous in Iowa, and also a quick little history lesson. So to start off, let's talk about some famous people from Iowa. Does anybody know who the 30th President of the United States was? Herbert Hoover was the 30th President of the United States. According to PresidentsUSA.net, Herbert Hoover was born August 10, 2010 in the town of West Branch, Iowa. President Hoover was a one-term president. He served from 1923 to 1933. To gain office, he beat Democrat Al Davis, and he lost his re-election bid to FDR. Some of the notable things that happened during Herbert Hoover's presidency, as many of you might know, aren't so proud moments. He was president during the Great Depression, the stock market crash. One of his better accomplishments was after the Depression, when he came up with a plan for the Hoover Dam, and that got accomplished. Another famous person you might know from the state of Iowa is John Wayne, great American cowboy and patriot. John Wayne has appeared in over 250 movies. According to JohnWayneBirthplace.org, John Wayne was born May 26, 1907 in the town of Winterstead, Iowa. John Wayne was not born John Wayne. His birth name was Marion Robert Morrison. So now we know some famous people. Let's talk about some famous sites from the state of Iowa. The Bridges in Madison County, which was a 1992 best-selling book and also a 1995 movie, was filmed in the state of Iowa. According to the Madison County Chamber of Commerce website, there was originally 19 covered bridges in the county. They were built between 1870 and 1884. 6 of those bridges remain today, and 5 of them are on the National Register of Historic Places. Another famous site for some of you sports fanatics out there is the Field of Dreams that featured Kevin Costner. InsideMovies.com said Kevin Costner was the lead star in this baseball movie, which one of the all-time greatest movie quotes come from. If you build it, they will come. The Field of Dreams is located in Dyersville, Iowa. The movie The Field of Dreams was a 1989 Best Picture nominee, and each year tens of thousands of visitors come to this field to take in all the sights and see everything and play pickup games. I myself played a pickup baseball game there when I was 12 years old. It's a pretty amazing experience. Now that you know some famous sites, let's talk about the climate and weather that you can expect to encounter if you ever come to Iowa. Iowa has hot, humid summers and cold, snowy winters. A great thing about Iowa is they experience all 4 seasons. CityData.com says the average number of full sunshine days in Iowa is 166. On average, Iowa gets 35 inches of rain every year and 30 inches of snow. Do you guys think it's pretty humid here in Turkey?
No.
On the average, Iowa's relative humidity is 72% year-round. Some records that were set in Iowa, the lowest temperature recorded in Iowa is negative 47 degrees, and the highest is 118. Now let's talk about the economy and jobs that are greatly affected by the weather. In a CNBC article dated July 15, 2010, Iowa was ranked number 6 in the nation for places to do jobs. In a subcategory of that same poll, Iowa ranked number 1 for the cost of operating a business. According to Netstate.com, farming and livestock is Iowa's number 1 industry, with a second going to finance, insurance, real estate, and which ranks second after agriculture. Hogs and cows are the main livestock that are raised in Iowa. In the state of Iowa, there is actually more pigs than there are people, which is pretty crazy. And Iowa is the top leader. There's more hogs raised in Iowa than any other state in the nation. Iowa is also a leader in milk, chickens, and eggs. Nebraska calls themselves the Cornhusker State, but really it should be Iowa. Iowa's the top producer of corn in the entire nation, is also a leader in soybeans, which go towards your alternative fuel sources like ethanol, E85, and stuff like that. Now, you didn't think I'd let you get away without a little history lesson. According to the Iowa Official Register, the first explorers to travel to Iowa were Louis Joliet and Jacques Marquette in the summer of 1673 as they traveled down the Mississippi River and the banks that would soon become the west coast of Iowa, or the west border. The first settlement of Iowa began in June of 1833 with those settlers coming from Ohio, Pennsylvania, Indiana, Kentucky, and Virginia. Iowa achieved statehood December 28, 1846. It was the 29th state admitted to the Union. This here is the Iowa flag, which was adopted in 1917. This is the original design that has never changed over the years since Iowa's become a state and they adopted the flag. So that wraps up all the stuff that we went over today, so let's take a quick review. At first I talked about some famous people. We talked about Herbert Hoover, the 30th President of the United States. We then talked about John Wayne, pretty famous movie star that came from Iowa and had a lot of movies. Some famous sites, we talked about a 1992 best-selling book, The Bridges of Madison County, which also became a movie. We also talked about The Field of Dreams, which was a 1989 Best Picture nominee. Then we talked about the climate and weather, how in Iowa you can expect hot, humid summers, cold, snowy winters in all 4 seasons. We talked about the economy, how Iowa is #1 in the nation for places for cost of operating a business, and how livestock, cattle, and farming are Iowa's #1 industries. Then the little history lesson about how Iowa became a state December 28, 1846 as the 29th state. Hope you guys learned a little something. I really appreciate you guys coming out and taking the time to do this with me. Thank you.